Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. It's the GDU O2 flight test. Here it is, rather portable. All I have is my little launch pad here for drones, and also the GDU O2 bag with the drone itself. Here it is here. So what we're going to be doing is a full-on flight test with the GDU O2 today. This is not the advanced version, this is just the standard version. And we're going to see how it does in a little bit of wind. Maybe from this direction we're getting about 5 to 10. Up there it's probably quite a bit more. But we're going to see how this thing does, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the problems I have initially getting this thing started up. So let's get started with the GDU O2 flight test. You guys may have seen the unboxing. I'll have the link card in the top there pop up, and also the link in the description of the unboxing. Basically, the problem I had was the initial RC, the remote control, they sent me wouldn't bind with the craft. So I actually had to send this back. I got in touch with GDU support and I had to send this thing back. I did have to pay shipping, which was about 20 bucks. I was a little bit disgruntled about that, but I was like, okay, well, I'll just do it anyway. They found out the problem was that there was a component in the controller that was bad. It wouldn't bind with the craft itself. And they sent it back with actually a new extra battery. So kind of a bonus. It was worth it for me to send it back because they sent me a whole new battery. So now I have 2 batteries. So when I got it back, there was a binocular calibration problem. So that's using the front obstacle avoidance sensors here. It wouldn't work. There was an error. So I was a little bit frustrated again. And so I contacted support again. They sent me a file. I did the calibration on the screen and everything seems to be working okay now. So I did get this quite a while ago, like maybe a month or 2 ago, and I just have been having all these problems with it. And I just wanted to be honest and tell you guys the problems I was having with this GDU O2. So if you do get these issues, the customer support did seem pretty helpful. So anyway, let's get this thing all booted up. I'm gonna put it up on the launch pad here. We'll time how long it takes to actually get unfolded and ready to fly, and then we'll put it up in the air and see what it can do. Okay, so here we go. So from out of the bag, just out of the bag, we want to see how long this thing takes to set up. So as you know, this one kind of locks into the controller. Then we just pull off the gimbal guard here, which is kind of funky in itself. Kind of an interesting little gimbal guard. It does work, but it's just, you know, a little kind of cheaply made, and it's kind of hard to get on. And the way it actually attaches to it, if you've seen my unboxing, it's just a little bit weird the way that works. But anyway, that's it. Then all we need to do is unfold the arms. So we just pull these things out. We want to give it a good crank so we feel a little click. So we know each arm is all the way out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds like somebody else is flying a drone above me here. Yeah, it's right over there. Interesting. It sounds like a Phantom or something. Then really all you need to do is pull down these feet. So there's 4 feet. Don't forget to pull these down because this one has a really low stance. I'm not even sure if it's going to really clear this launch pad in this grass. Yeah, so see how the gimbal, that's kind of a con on this one. It's such a low profile. The gimbal's already getting caught up on this launch pad in the grass. So you're really going to have like a super hard surface. So maybe what I'll do is I'll grab the other battery and kind of put it underneath. And this is kind of funny because that battery is going to be possibly messing up the compass, but you see how I kind of need that hard flat surface to pick the gimbal up so the gimbal's not scraping on the launch pad for its initial auto check procedure. All right, so unfolding the controller here. So I'm going to put my phone, kind of slide this in. This thing expands like this, and we need to finagle this connector in. So it's a little bit weird, but once you get the hang of it, it actually works pretty good because the actual controller kind of pushes the connector in and makes sure it doesn't fall out. So we want to have like this orientation there. We should be good to go. And then we just hold the power here to turn on the controller. Hearing a beep there. Okay, so if you have it set to auto launch, the GDU application auto launches. And we want to press and hold until we see the lights go all the way up. So almost exactly like DJI as far as the boot up procedure here. You can hear it going, and the gimbal is actually really quick in starting up. I didn't quite catch it doing a couple of its movements, but it just goes kind of straight to level right away. It doesn't really do any like side to side checking on this one. As soon as I kind of booted the drone up and stuff, I'm seeing that I have this message, gimbal version 1.1 upgrade. I haven't used this for a while, so I'm going to try the upgrade, see what happens. So it's saying it increases the CPU storage, blah, 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 modified tracking, pitch angle, boot loader. So that's supposed to be bootloader upgrade. Interesting. So a little bit of sloppiness. And we have download fail. Wow, really? So maybe something GDU wants to work on is their upgrade process is really wacky and weird. Like when I was doing some of the firmware for the flight controller upgrades, gosh, this thing would like time out like every 20 seconds, and I had to keep opening the app and closing the app until it finally downloaded. So they have some kind of problem going on. Anyway, we'll just go into start. It is what it is. There comes the wind, of course. So we'll start recording here. And keep in mind that this one records in the drone storage. There's no SD card for this one, if that bothers you. And visual system is off on the bottom there. So cannot go next before exiting current state. Sure. So you can't go into the options when it's recording. So it stopped recording. We'll go into options. We want to go into our sensors here, right? Altitude limit, we'll take those off. I agree. We turn altitude 65 feet. Let's go to the vision sensors. Radar map. Let's turn all this stuff on. Why is it all off? What? Please turn on visual obstacle avoidance. There, okay. And that's one of the things that I also noticed with this one is every time you reboot it, the visual obstacle avoidance is off by default. So really irritating there. Not sure why it does that. All right, so we'll go ahead and launch here. So I'm pressing the auto launch, auto takeoff. There it goes. So wow, look at that wandering. So right when it launched, it had quite a bit of wandering there. I'm gonna take this battery away. So quite loud, this one, you can kind of hear it. It has that really high-pitched whining. If you remember, the kind of like the Dobby drone, that portable drone, which this really reminds me of. It may even be from the same company. So really high-pitched. You can see how where it launched to where it is now. That's about 3-4 feet away. It is fluctuating up and down quite a bit. I will have the video up on the screen, guys, for you to see. Let's see what we can do. So here it is hovering. I'm gonna kind of bring it up a little bit to eye level so you guys can see this a little better. Quite loud. And it is kind of going up and down on its own. Whoa. So not nearly as stable as some of the more popular drones. There we go. So the right one is the gimbal. So pushing down, it's going really slow. I'll have the 4K video up so you guys can see that. It's all the way down, and that is all the way up. So it's a pretty slow moving gimbal, which is actually pretty good for catching video. Let's see what the yaw rate is in this mode. So full left. There it is. I'll let you be the judge of how that video looks. And we'll do some full throttle ups here. So from a hover, I am having to adjust my height. So it's a little bit weird in the height adjustment. So full throttle up right now. And what can we see? We've got no mile per hour. Okay. It's just showing us our height with no mile per hour. So that's 100 feet there. I'm going to bring it down. I'll be showing you guys the screen. Bringing her on down. Going pretty slow. It seems like maybe about 3 miles per hour. Okay. So keep in mind, this one has obstacle avoidance. So let's see if I can run into myself. Should be on. Let's make it so, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. And let's bring it over there. By the way, this is how fast it's flying. Bring it over here so the sun's kind of on me, and let's point it right at me and just kind of cruise into me and see if it actually will detect me. So a little bit forward. Yes, it does. A little scary because it didn't stop until about 3 feet away, but it did detect me. So those front sensors are working. Let's try that again. If I'm just cruising around full speed. Here we go. Risky. No, that would have hit me. That would have hit me for sure. So I don't see how that's going to work at full speed. Got to be going kind of slow. Let's try that one more time. Full speed, straight back. And let's go full speed right at this height. Go. I'm gonna have to duck and dodge. It did want to stop, but man, that's really close. So maybe if you're flying kind of slow, it might stop. But if you're full blast and you accidentally hit something, or there's something in front of you, yeah, see that? I'm gonna just try it one more time, because we have 2 batteries. Full stick forward. No, that would have hit my face. So I know it's a little bit risky, but we got to do these tests to know what to expect. So any kind of obstacle, that would have hit it if you're at full speed. So it's kind of like not even really worth having the obstacle there, avoidance, if you're going to be going fast. But will work if you're going slow. Keep that in mind. All right, so what do we want to do? We want to see the map. Whoa, wind's blowing it down, by the way. See that wind kind of pushing it down there? I just picked it up. That's about like 10 pushing on it. Let's check out the map. There it is. So the map is doing fairly well. Just bringing in the Google Maps. And look at that wind just pushing it into the ground. And that is only about 10 miles per hour, maybe 15 at the most. So not great sensors there for keeping it in altitude hold. It's going up on its own, not sure what it's doing. So this does have a sport mode. So say if we switch into sport with this button here, and then we can, let's go back into our video, pressing that button there with the arrows. Let's go into sport. Wow, so much faster. Yeah, that is pretty fast. Wow, okay. So if you want to fly fast with this one, you definitely can, and it can handle it. Letting off right there. That's how long it kind of takes to stop, and then it's actually wandering a little bit more forward. So keep that in mind. We're going to turn sport mode off. All right, so did the video seemed to kind of stop recording, so I'm going to record it again, and let's kind of pick it up here and see what kind of video this thing can get. You know, this is just basically, oh, there's a fire still going there. Wow, see that fire down there? So that fire started yesterday in the field off the Haleakala Highway here in Maui, and it's still going. So this is 4K video from this thing, guys, and we're gonna go kind of adjust the gimbal a little bit. Let's go from the fire and then down to the grass and just see how this thing is. The grass is quite dry. It's summertime. There goes that dog again. My goodness. Okay, so that is the video. While we're up here, let's take some pictures. So I'm gonna stop video. I'm gonna go to pictures. I'm just gonna press this button here for a picture. Looks like some bees are attacking it, possibly. Just gonna take a couple pictures so you guys can see the quality of the pictures. Another picture, and then we'll start recording again. So we'll go back into record, pressing the record button right here on the left. Okay, let's bring it down. The sound of this one really seems to irritate pets and stuff. You know what I want to see? I want to see if it's faster coming down in sport mode. So I just switched into sport mode. Seems about the same. So it's like on this one, sport mode. Let's see what the yaw's like. So that's sport mode on, sport mode off. Yeah, faster in sport mode. How about ascension speed, sport mode off, on. A little bit faster. Yes, it is. Okay. I want to say a couple miles per hour faster. All right. Let's see what we can do in some of the smart modes. So I just pressed the S on the screen, and then we can rotate this gimbal here. Let's try maybe rocket first. So we'll face us here. Hello guys, thanks for tuning in. And let's go sure, I guess is what we can do. Camera, control mode, hover. Let's just start it in its default. So start. So it faced it all the way down. So what you might want to do, let's exit that. We just exited it. So what you might want to do is maybe get it right over you. And then start a rocket. So we'll go back into rocket, boom. Sure, start. I'm gonna face the camera down and hello. It's gonna automatically do a rocket. You guys can see for yourself how that looks. There we go. We're in this. Is it just taking photos? For some reason, I don't know. I think it's just taking photos. Maybe it's recording. There we go. It finished its droney mode. Okay, now it's calling it droney mode. And it's staying up there. It's a little bit dangerous. I would have liked it to come back on its own. So this one stays up in the air. So we'll bring it back down. Full throttle down here. And let's see what else we can do. So we'll go into S again. This one should do like follow and stuff. Follow me, sure. Make a rectangular or double click. Okay, so I'm gonna manually, whoops. It just said vision off. What's it doing? I didn't do anything, it just started moving around. Okay, let's try this. So gimbal up. Get me right there. Drone battery low. Let's just see how good it is at tracking. So it's already tracking. I'm gonna start recording again. All right, tracking. Yeah, we're getting low on power, so we better hurry up and then we'll pop the other battery in. So let's see how it tracks. Yeah, it's going backwards. Again, I'll have that video up, guys, so you can see that. To the right, let me run back, try to get it to stop following me. Wow, it does look really good. Fast forward. So the actual software on the tracking is really good to me. And let's see if we can actually move it around. Yep. Okay, we can also move it while we're tracking. So we can go to a lower height and all that stuff. Cool, so that works good. Let's do a quick return to home and then we'll put in the other battery. So I'm gonna stop, return to home, auto return. Because this battery is already at 22%. So since it was so close, look, it didn't even go up. So that's kind of how these GPS drones are. If it's within a certain vicinity of your home point, it won't go up, it'll just come straight home. And quite a bit off. There we go. So it landed in, let's stop recording here. It landed in the grass, and that is technically 1, 2, that's like 3 or 4 feet off. So within the 5-foot tolerance I normally have for, you know, GPS precision. So let me go ahead and pop in another battery and we'll try some of those extra flight functions and finish this review up. Okay guys, so we are booted back up with a second battery. We have 100% power, everything's good to go. And you can see as I booted up the app, the visual system is off. You see if I press on it there, you have to turn it on every time in the settings. So kind of unusual, but that's the way it's working. For this one, let's try a physical button to take off. So this one here should be one button take off. I'm just going to press it once. See what happens. Nope. Press and hold it. There we go. So just press and hold the takeoff button. Again, it's going over there for some reason. Now it's going down quite low. So wind might really influence this one. We'll go ahead and start recording again in 4K. We want to get up here and we want to do some more of these advanced functions. So let's try again. I'll point at myself again. Maybe we'll get some of this new skate park they're building over there behind me. Okay, so let's go to the smart modes. We did rocket, we did follow me, which worked really well, surprisingly. We've got vision circle. Okay, this is a good little circle around point. And okay, make rectangle. Drone will keep tracking. Sure. So we'll go ahead and get the gimbal. I keep wanting to press the left roller for gimbal, but it's the right roller. So we'll bring it down here. Let's go up a little bit. And let's back up a little. Just so we get a little bit better of a angle here. Okay, and then we're gonna draw a box around me here. Yeah, we got it. Whoop, let's try another one. Nope, that'll do it. Okay, and there it goes. So this is its auto circle around point function, which I kind of like because you don't have to bring the drone over you first, and it's just doing that on its own. Let's see what happens if we slide this bar slider to the right. So that looks like it's maximum speed. It actually looks, whoa, it's getting kind of close. You see that? So a little bit of getting close to the obstacle on occasion, or the center point rather. Let's slide the bar all the way to the left. See what happens. I just slid it to the left. Now it's going the other way. Let's see how well it keeps me in shot. Does look quite smooth. Wind did die down a little bit, but it does look like it's keeping that object in the center and quite smooth, even though I drew my box a little obscured. Let's see if we pull the stick back. Did that just cancel out of it? That kind of paused it, okay. So you can do this adjustment, but what it does is it pauses it until it gets to the point you finish adjusting, and there we go. Oh, that's actually really good. You can see that the tracking is a little bit off of me, but it is still working quite well. Okay, what if we just press, yeah. All right, looks good. I'm gonna stop it here. And that just completely got out of that mode. Let's just leave it right about here, and let's try some of our other functions. Oh, a little bit of wireless garble there in the video. Okay, what do we want to do now, guys? We want to exit out of that, and we want to go back into S, and we want to see what else we can do. We did tracking, we did vision circle, gesture shot. Piece takes a photo, hand right in front of it, starts and ends video. Let's just give it a try. So how close do we want to get? Maybe this close, so I can see your hand with the camera? Sure. All right, let's try it. So gesture detection opened, and let's try a piece. 3, 2, 1, shaka. All right, so that is working. You just got to keep your hand up and leave it there, and we get a countdown on the screen. Good, so that is working. Let's see how far away maybe we can do it. Let's see if it does it here. Point the camera down a little bit. So say you're with your family and you want to take a picture on the side of a cliff. Piece again. Wow, it's detecting my fingers from way out there. That's great. Okay, so that's working really good. Let's try the video. So full hand up, begin record. Wow, that's really impressive. And did it end record? Let's see, hand up again. Begin record. Okay. So apparently it ended for some reason when I thought I put it up there twice. So it's recording now. So if you just wanted to do that with your hand for some reason, you could do that. Maybe you're using it. You can also use this wireless with your phone. Let's put my hand up again. See if it detects it. There we go. End record. I just had to move my hand around just a little bit. Okay, so that works. Not sure exactly when you'll be using that, but it does work. Especially that far away is impressive. Let's see what else we got. That was gesture, point of interest. Okay, so this is the one that's more of the one I was talking about before. We got to fly over it. And let's see if this one might be a little bit more accurate. So we'll fly over me first. Directly over. And to do this, you kind of need to like tilt the camera down and be right above yourself. That looks perfect. Start circling now. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. So it went out and it's going to turn the camera where it thinks I was, or turn the front of the drone. And I still have to, you see how I'm still having to pitch the camera manually with the right roller, okay? But this should give us a much more accurate circle around point center. Let's see if we can get a little faster here. If we roll, oops, I was going the wrong way. Oh, that just canceled out of it. Okay. And we'll try something else, since we do have other options. It looks like there's one more. What's this? Droney. After making a rectangular or double clicking the target, drone will fly backward and upward with camera locked on target. Okay. Let's try it. Make a rectangular or double click. So let's get in position. Okay, I'm gonna get right up to me here. Yes, okay, so you need the phone. And go. Double click. Let's just double click myself. Really? Double click. Click and hold. Rectangle. All right. Not sure what it's doing. Let's try this again. Perhaps. Go a little farther out. Stuff we need to test. Backward droning? What? What does that mean? Okay, let me exit out of here. Try one more time. A little bit glitchy. Back into the special mode here. Droney. Make it rectangular or double click. So I'm just going to double click on myself. Boom, boom. There we go. Let's set a flight distance of 50 meters. Video. Good. And hover control mode. Oh, let's make it fly back. There we go. Start. Okay, it's centered on me. Do it. Begin record. All right. Woo-hoo. Hey, that's working fairly well, and I like the adjustments you can do. Keeping me very well centered. It's gonna fly back. I think it was what, 50 meters I chose. Excellent. So depending if the camera's recording good or not, which I'll have up on the screen, this one may be pretty good for dronies, guys. And let's see how it flies back. It seems like it may have gone into, it may have decentered, gone out of that tracking mode, and then it's just wanting to fly back now. So you're gonna get that exiting mode is gonna be the centered camera. You see how the camera's off now? So this is just flying back. It's not actually in like a droney mode. Cool, and it's stopping right where it left off. So you couldn't really ask for more on that. That's really good. I think we're good to go. Can we do any kind of waypoint missions? Let's just try a quick one real quick. Let's just draw some waypoints. So what if I go like this? Boom. Zoom in here to our park where we're at. And we'll just plot some points kind of close by. Oh, this is geofence. Okay, so I don't need to do that, but you can put a geofence around you. All right. So let's get out of that. How do we get out of it? Out of it is the problem. Erase. Okay. Sure, erase that. Okay, so if you wanted to send a geofence, that's pretty cool. You can set it however big you want. Where what that means is it won't fly past the fence you set. That's pretty darn good. I'm gonna get this thing back out of here so it's not so damn loud in the microphone. This is a loud one, guys. I'm trying to try this other mode up here, but it doesn't seem to be working. Like a waypoint mode. You see, I'm trying to click on that top icon there, but that's not working. Let's try to go out of this map and then back into it. It's not recording anymore. Let's start recording in 4K again. We'll go back into the map and then we'll try this top button. So unfortunately I can't get into that. Not sure why. Okay, I just turned geofence off. Okay, there we go. So you have to click on the geofence again, and now I can go into that other one. And let's try to do a little path. Let's do a really simple one, because the battery's getting low. So 4 points, flight distance. I don't see anything where we can adjust. Can we adjust? I'm clicking on a point, clicking and holding on a point. That just kind of moved it away. Anyway, let's just go for it. Let's try it. Drone will be flying at 20 meters. Can't adjust that. Sure, go. Okay, so it should have started it. And here goes its auto mission. Okay. There it goes. So we're at 25% power. Hopefully it can do this. It looks like the face is pointing to the next waypoint. All right. Let's see what it's going to do, because that number 2 is way off the map. Weird. I don't know what happened there, but it is following the line. It's turning to the next one. Again, I'll be recording this waypoint mission for you guys. You're able to see it. Number 3. All right. So waypoint missions actually work pretty good. Cancel low battery return till it finishes. Just popped up. So it does have a low battery return to home. That's good. And there we go. So it finished its waypoint mission. Now, since we have a low battery, all we need to do next, guys, is return to home. So I'm going to go back into my camera. We were recording on that flight, so I'll have had that up. And we want to press return to home. So I'm just going to manually press and hold it in. There we go. It took a little while, but now it's auto returning to home. And let's see how accurate it is this time. I'm going to move this battery out of the way we took off on because of that low profile gimbal. Just see how accurate it is. Coming on down. Landing. Just got really slow. So this time it's quite a bit of ways. Let's just let it go ahead and land here. Okay, so it did land and shut off the propellers, so very good. It's just the accuracy was quite a bit off. And you know, that could have also been because of the battery I was launching off of, just to have a flat surface. I might have thrown off the compass a little bit on launch. So technically we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet out of its home point. So just on the verge of really acceptable accuracy for this GPS precision. And the only reason I say that is because, say you're at the beach or something and you're on, like, you know, on the edge of where the water is. If something happens and you come home and say who knows what happens, where you can't be there to manually control it, to get it out of its inaccuracy of GPS. That thing could have just like landed in the water, you know what I mean, if I was to launch 5 feet away from the water. So that's the reason why it's important to have return to home, or say you have people around you, kids around you, you're launching, something happens to you, something happens to the controller, when the battery does get low, or when you return to home, you don't want that thing to be accidentally landing on kids, or maybe there's a baby in a carrier there that's far away. So that's the reason they need to make these return to home so precision, and that's why I'm kind of picky about that. All right, so I'm going to turn this thing off before we really kill the battery. We are at 11%, so that does seem to last quite a bit of time. So click, click and hold turns it off, and then just a click and hold turns off the controller. All right, well, what a great flight with the GDU 02. Let's go ahead and go into some of these pros and cons while we wrap this up. We did go through 2 batteries, and I'll have to say I was a little more impressed than I thought I would be. After all that fuss I had with the controller not linking up, and then the binocular front vision sensors having to be calibrated after I even got it back from the company, I was a little bit disgruntled, but it did work fairly well. I mean, the Waypoint missions worked really well. I've had the video up on the screen, guys, so you can tell for yourself like how good that video was at dampening and stuff. It looked at times a little bit shaky from the FPV. There is a little bit of breeze here. It's very loud, so that's a con on this one. The auto hovering, the altitude hold was a little bit weird. If there's any kind of wind, this one seems to want to be pushed down into the ground quite a bit, so you're getting about 5 feet of actual fluctuation possibility. I do like the original idea of having these arms kind of slide in. That is a pretty good idea. It is different than all the other ones that fold out. That's pretty cool. The flight time did seem pretty reasonable. I'll have that pop up on the screen here if you guys wanted to see how long this thing flew, and that will give you an idea of what you can get for flight time in this kind of environment. So the selfie function actually works surprisingly well for this kind of drone here. It's competing with something like the Mavic Air or the DJI Phantom, so actually pretty darn good. I was surprised, better than expected. Some of those functions, even the pictures and the video just from raising your hand up from a distance, worked pretty well. Anyway, that's the way this thing works, guys. Links in the description if you want to check this thing out, see the pricing and how much it costs and more specs on it. One of the cons here, a little bit really shallow profile. So if you're putting it on anything except like maybe a book, bring like a book with you or something that's wide enough for this. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.